What's up, guys? It's AG. It's OG KhoF. And let's talk about the changes, the major changes that's going to happen to the agents. Hmm. So let's start with Astra. By the way, shout out to HScan. ये सारा info HScan के वीडियो से है. Astra में changes हुए हैं and those look perfect. वैसे भी वो काफी balanced agent थी, optimized. So let's see what are the changes. Cooldown time has increased. Mhm. For the Q and C abilities, stars are now inactive when played during the buy phase. Okay. And the barriers drop, stars charge for 1.4 seconds before becoming active and usable. Oh, that's great. On attack, Astra can now see the spike's location in astral form. Yeah, ये चीज बहुत मिसिंग थी. अब लगता है काफी यूजफुल हो जाएगी Astra. On attack, Astra can see the spike's location in astral form. Okay, ये तो मैंने अब पढ़ा. This representation does not animate, so it will not provide additional info on the status of the spike. Cool. ठीक है, काफी काफी हद तक इम्प्रूव्ड है. Recall cooldown time has increased from 8 to 15. Okay, so इसका star cost भी decrease हो चुका है to 150, which is really great. So let's move on to breach now. ब्रीच के फ्लैशेस, ब्रीच में काफी इंटरेस्टिंग चेंजेस आए हैं. ब्रीच के फ्लैशेस हैव रिड्यूस्ड फ्रॉम 3 to 2 इन कैपेसिटी. मतलब भगवान ने बचा लिया. कॉस्ट इंक्रीज्ड. चलो, और एक अच्छा एडवांटेज फॉर द नॉन ब्रीच मेन्स, द विक्टिम्स ऑफ ब्रीच. Projectile speed decreased. Okay, so projectile speed is like the speed at which it travels, the flashes. So अभी वो travel भी slow होगा, which is nice. And the fault line has the charge time decreased 1%, no, 1 second. Okay, तो with बढ़ते हुए 750. Telegraph wind up time decreased. Concussion duration increased. Okay, तो और ब्रीच मेंस के लिए खुशखबरी आ चुकी है. Unequipped time after firing decreased. Nice. सच्ची सच्ची जब भी मैंने ब्रीच खेला है मुझे ऐसा लगा है उसका एनिमेशन एटलीस्ट 50% ज़्यादा टाइम लेता था दूसरे एजेंट से. कूल डाउन टाइम हैज इंक्रीज्ड फ्रॉम 35 to 40. ओके, नाइस. लेट्स गो टू द नेक्स्ट वन. नहीं, हमारे पास कुछ और चेंजेस बचे हैं ब्रीच के. So the aftershock explodes 3 times with each blast dealing 60 damage with no fall off. Blasts are 6 seconds apart. Wow. Explosion radius increased. That's really something, like it's like a compensation. ये वो flashes कम करके उसका radius बढ़ा रहे of the aftershock, and the cost, okay, the cost has increased, but ठीक है. Rolling Thunder. Okay, not major changes to Rolling Thunder. ठीक है. ब्रिम देखते हैं, ब्रिम एंड साइफर में क्या चेंजेस आए हैं. ब्रिमस्टोन में कुछ खास नहीं, सिर्फ इंसेंडियरी, that is Q, has its cost increased to 250. 50 रुपये बढ़ गया, 50 credits. Cipher. So the Cipher alt points that were required to use your alt has decreased to 6 from 7. Okay, great. हाँ, now Jet में इतने सारे भयंकर changes आ गए हैं. So for the first round, the pistol round, we were freely buying all 3 smokes plus an updraft. No, 2 smokes and an updraft, or 3 smokes. बट अब वैसा कुछ नहीं हो सकता. आपको या एक स्मोक मिलेगा या अब एक अपड्राफ्ट. सो that's really bad, I think. I was recently becoming Jet main, but yeah, that's how it is. So up updraft का price increase हो गया 150. Tailwind, that is your E, the dash, it won't break Cypher's trapwire anymore. That's really a downfall for Jet. Cloudburst has its cost increased to 200, जैसा कि मैंने बताया. Blade Storm, so उसके अल्ट पॉइंट्स पहले 6 चाहिए थे, अब 7 चाहिए. Okay. Great. Let's move on to KJ. Now Killjoy has a few changes, making it more rigid to hold a particular base than to move here and there frequently. So वो करने के लिए उन्होंने alarm bot का cooldown, that is after you pick it up, has increased from 7 seconds to 20 seconds. Uh, the turret from 10 to 20. So yeah, the motive here was KJ एक side hold करे rather than running here and there like a jet. Let's go to Omen. So the paranoia का cost has been decreased finally to 300. The dark cover. So एक मेजर चेंज है कि पहले ओमन को फ्री में स्मोक्स मिलते थे जितने चाहे, आई मीन 2 स्मोक्स एट द स्टार्ट ऑफ एवरी राउंड. अब उसे सिर्फ एक मिलेगा और उसे द सेकंड स्मोक ही हैज टू बाय इट फॉर $100, द 100 credits, and the granted signature charges. So yeah, which is the smoke, वो 2 से 1 हो चुका है, and second smoke के लिए you will have to buy the second smoke for 100. And the cooldown time has increased for the smokes to 40 seconds. तो वुमेन मेंस के लिए पैरानोया में कुछ प्राइस कम होते हुए दिखते हुए हमें ये भी दिख रहा है कि उसका कूल डाउन टाइम एंड द कॉस्ट ऑफ सेकंड स्मोक has increased and it's created a new problem for us. Shrouded step, उसका भी कॉस्ट इंक्रीज हो चुका है to 150. That's it for Omen. Let's go to Phoenix. Now Phoenix curveball, the price has increased to 250, which is really gonna affect you in the pistol rounds because आप दो के बजाय एक ही फ्लैश ले सकते हो या एक वॉल ले सकते हो, which is your C ability. Move on to race. Model has been updated with the polish pass. Okay, something with the optimization. Homebot, the cost has increased to 400. That's a really bumper price for a homebot. And the showstopper now requires 8 ult points. So less of raise ults, hopefully. Let's move on to Rana. So Rana's layer, that is the C ability. So the price has increased to 250 from 200. So I think they have tried to balance the credits that were just in hundreds and there was no 50 denominations at all. So to balance out the credits for buying weapons has been somehow adjusted in the abilities, in the agent abilities. So that's how 50-50 denomination. Let's move on to Sage. So the slow ops cost has increased to 200. That's great. Barrier cost has increased from 300 to 400. Okay. And resurrection now needs 8 ult points. I think it's gonna be a little tough to play Sage now, but let's see. So Sky has her Trailblazer. Vision radius has increased marginally, I would say. I mean, yeah. Um, even me, whenever I played Sky, her fox, I mean, my bad, her tiger was just not able to find out enemies at the pace it should. So it was definitely the radius which was supposed to increase and which is really good to see. Max concussion duration has increased to 4. Great. Cost increased. Cool. I feel the Sky mains would now be happy and more new Sky mains would come up, hopefully. Guiding light charges reduced to 2 from 3, just like Breach. Charges are now replenished on a 40-second cooldown. That means that it has increased, right? Sky no longer needs to re-equip. Okay, so guiding light's projectile now goes around corners tighter when free flying and is more responsive to guiding. Okay. Audio atten- attenuation when cast reduced from 320 to 1250. Cost of charges increased from 100 to 250. So Sky means के लिए यही info है and I'm sure आपने hit scan को check out किया होगा. So he is much more better informed person to explain you this. But this is just like a reference that you can have. Now let's move on to SOA. Shoptat, the cost has increased from 100 to 150. Recon Bolt, the time has increased 5 seconds to 40. And Owl drone. Okay. So they have increased like 50, $100 here and there. So by bucks I mean Valorant in-game credits. The alt points, okay, so इसके भी alt को बढ़ा दिया है the amount of alt ops that you need. Swiper has snake bite. C, duration reduced from 8 to 6.5. Nice. That means she'll have to make sure that her lineups are consistent. Otherwise, refuse हो जाएगा. Outer edges of Viper's asset patch form faster to ensure it is lethal if an enemy sits in the entire duration. Look, sounds interesting, but the cost has increased from 100 to 200. So that's that. Now Euro has its blindside cost increased from 200 to 250. The cooldown has increased from, so it's more of the natural abilities, the E abilities of all the agents have got a time increase of 5 seconds mostly on an average. So let's move on to the weapon changes now. So here it goes. So the tagging, which means if you just peeked and you fired and the bullets actually hit the enemy. So the rate at which the enemy was able to move has now decreased, in the sense it was 75% slow if it was being tagged, if a player was being tagged. Now it can move a little bit faster, that is um 3.2.5% faster, so that's somehow good. The weapon dead zones changed from 30% to 27.5%, so not a major change. And the dead zone in Valorant refers to the movement speed a player becomes inaccurate. Okay, so the more you basically run and shoot. Now all rifles, all heavies and all SMGs, they have their inaccuracy changed from a certain number to much more severe number. That means run and gun, walk and gun would now not be as easier as it was. Simple as that. Here are the numbers for each and every pistol, so y'all can just pause and refer if you like. वैसे तो कोई देख रहा नहीं, but still. The judge, हाँ, so ये चेंज आया है. जज लेके बैठ जाते थे, सब कैंप करते थे. Now the prices have increased from 1600 to 1850, and the damage fallout at 10 centimeter changed from 13 per pallet to 10 per pallet. That is great. So एक बुलेट से 10 डैमेज होगा, पहले 13 होता था. 15 और 10 मीटर में, अब 15 मीटर में 10 पैलेट्स से 7 पैलेट्स हो गए. सो 3 दिन के चेंजेस है, विच इज रियली ग्रेट. और प्राइस भी बढ़ गया है, सो यू डोंट हैव टू, आई मीन, you will get pissed if you get killed by a judge, by a camper, but yeah, it'll be really tough for him to buy a judge and not a vandal or spectre. These are the SMGs. उनकी prices have increased, no, decreased from a certain, sorry, these are not SMGs, these are just list of weapons whose price have been decreased. So the op is now 300 credits shyer than what it used to be. So as the with Ares with 50 rupees, 50 credits shorter, Marshall. So wait, 50 का balance out करने के लिए, as I told you previously. Now the performance and social changes. Players with medium to high spec machines, CPU bound systems, may see up to 6% performance improvements as a result of the following work. Okay, exciting. Improved clipping plane calculations using multi-threading. Improved thread utilization across multiple core for distributed tasks. This is something really technical. I mean, it's really more of about how strong your processor is. Optimized camera calculations, optimized ambient audio for each map, general optimizations for all ability animations. So because of these optimizations and improvements, आपके specs now would help you to get better performance in game. That is, hmm, so Riot is working in a very good direction, and I think that's about it. No, social updates. So hover cards have been added to the social panel. Hover over your friends list to quickly learn more about the players you have added, rank, account level, right ID, friend note, title, player card, and more. You can now invite to party with right ID in custom games. Wow, that's great. Now, I wish if I could talk to my opponents by pressing certain button. If that ever happens, I think that would really be the greatest patch. So no more keyboard warriors. That would be toxic and spoil the game atmosphere. But yeah, that's just me. So I think that's about it. Thanks a lot for watching. I hope this helped. Shout out to Hitscan and the devs team that tried to help us understand this info. So bye bye guys. See y'all in the stream, which is gonna happen in next 10 minutes. So be there.